gave him an alternative, and he said to him that, oh my Nabi, get a broom or something which has 100 small sticks on it, and hit it once on your wife, and your oath will be fulfilled. So it is like an alternative to using that money in a place where directly, if we were to use zakat, it wouldn't be permissible. So the way to do hila is as it mentioned in regards to a points in that Sayyidina Imam Ahl Sunnat Mujaddiduddin Millat Ala Hazrat has mentioned, and he gave an example. So I'll inshallah mention the example to keep it brief. The example he gave was that if an individual, a poor person, is given 10 lakhs or 100,000 rupees or pounds as zakat. Now that money, we want to use that money for a masjid, but you can't use that money directly because it is zakat money. So what you would do is give that 100,000 pounds to that individual, that poor person, and then you will say to that poor person that you buy this phone or whatever product there is that you have, you buy it off me for 100,000 pounds. So you give that money back to me, and you buy this phone with that money, so that when you receive that money back, you invest that money into the masjid. Yeah, so you sell something to that poor person, so he benefits from it as well. So it's not as though he's left without anything. So he benefits from it as well, and you will also be able to use that money in the masajid, in the Darul Ulum or Madaris, etc. So this is one way that you can do hila. The second way is simply to give it to an individual, explain what hila is to that person, and explain to them that, look, I'm going to give you 100,000 pounds, but you will never ever in your life, because of the state that a person is in financially, be given the opportunity to give 100,000 into a masjid. It's very rare that a person gets that opportunity. So you explain to them that, look, you will hardly ever get this opportunity to give 100,000 into the masjid. So I will give you 100,000 pounds, but you take that money and give it to the masjid. So it will be your lillah that will be accepted, but the zakat of the people that has given that 100,000 pounds will also be fulfilled. So it will be two benefits from one action. So you will give that money so that zakat is accepted. And then on the other hand, the poor person will also benefit that when he, of course, gives that money in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it will be written that he has given 100,000 pounds in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So these are ways of doing hila. But the best way, as Hazrat was mentioning, the best way is to do hila with a knowledgeable individual, an alim, a student of knowledge, someone who understands the benefit of hila. Because of course, for someone illiterate, someone who doesn't understand hila, then it is possible that that person might not be able to understand the true benefits of it, and he might kind of be reluctant in giving that money over. And in that case, hila, the conditions of hila wouldn't be completely met, because one of the conditions of hila is the poor person that is giving the money back has to be completely satisfied. He has to be completely happy with the fact that he is giving that money back, because it is his own money. That money, it actually becomes his own money. So if he doesn't give it, then in reality, we can't do anything about that. But if you use someone knowledgeable, if you use an alim din, a student of knowledge, then at least you have the guarantee that this person has an understanding of the benefit of hila, of the benefit of giving in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the benefits of sadaqah. Hence why then he will be more happy to give it in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We've mentioned in regards to, what was the other ruling that was mentioned? Yeah, there was quite a few obviously rulings mentioned, but as we said, inshallah, in the next few days, inshallah. So helping someone in debt as well was mentioned, that if someone is in debt, as it said, that rather than finding, because of course a question was asked in regards to explaining the evil side effects of taking zakat when you're not viable for zakat. So someone that, of course, in this country, very little you will find that people take zakat. But in our subcontinent, India, etc., you will find that certain people take zakat when they are not actually viable to take the zakat. So for that reason, Hazrat was mentioning a few points that on the Day of Judgment, they will be shown to the people that this individual is the one who had money, but yet he was begging from you, he was taking money from you. This will in itself be the greatest insult that he will get. Then of course he's eating haram, then the ill effects of that as well will be felt on him as well. The other point Hazrat mentioned was that although certain people have, for example, lands, they have homes, under outward you see that a person is well off. He lives a well-off life, he eats well, but in reality he might be completely drowning in debts. This person is also viable for zakat. In fact, this is also mentioned in the Quran, and the Allamah Kiram have said that these people are more viable, and it is actually more beneficial to give zakat to these kind of people. Because on the outward, they will be ashamed to ask for it. Whereas if it's someone who doesn't have money, they will be happy to ask. They will be used to going to people and asking and saying, I need zakat, I require zakat. But an individual who you might see on a daily basis, for example, it might even be in this country as well. Yeah, it might even be, and especially in this day and age where the value of things are going higher, it's very viable that in this day and age we might find someone who actually can take zakat. So we should try and look for them kind of people, especially if they're close to you, you know of them, then we should give zakat to them kind of people. It's a lot more beneficial because they won't be open about it. They won't be able to go to people, they won't be able to ask people that I need zakat. So we should find them kind of people who are actually drowning in debt. Even if you find that they're living lavish lives, but we should speak to them, see if, especially if they're close to you, speak to them, see if they are viable for zakat. If you can't speak to them, someone who's close to them, and try and find out. Another ruling that Hazrat mentioned along the same line was in regards to if you're giving zakat to such a person, that it is not necessary for you to tell them that money is zakat. You don't need to tell them that I'm giving you zakat. You can just say to him as a gift to help you out with whatever you're struggling with, or whatever, just as a gift. Eid comes, for example, you could just say, just a gift on Eid, or any other special day or night that comes, gift it to them so that they don't feel ashamed, but in your heart you'll have the intention of zakat, and inshallah that will be benefiting those who genuinely need that money as well. So inshallah, just finally, just mentioning that, as mentioned earlier, if anyone has any questions, then pass them on to us, inshallah. The number that is on the poster, send it to that, or any of the other brothers as well, inshallah. Send it through to us, and inshallah, we'll try to get the answers for that as well, inshallah. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Subhanallah, Jazakallah. And I'd also like to mention that it is the hukam of the Quran, فَاسْأَلُوا أَهْلَ الذِّكْرِ إِن كُنْتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ, that ask the people of knowledge if you do not know. So although these programs, they have a time limit. So today we had just over an hour, and this is definitely not enough for questions and answers, especially relating to such a topic. Even a part 2, in my opinion, would be nowhere near enough, and we could go on and on. Therefore, one of the benefits of such programs is that it encourages us to consult our ulama. It gets us thinking. If there are any further questions, alhamdulillah, our Imam Sahib, Hazrat Maulana Yunus Sahib, is available as well. You can also ask Hazrat. Inshallah, we will be having another question answer session in a couple of weeks prior to Ramadan, inshallah, on the rules and regulations and masla masail of fasting and the month of Ramadan as well, inshallah. Next week, inshallah, you've probably seen or you can see on the screen, there will be an exclusive program, one that has never been done before in our community anyway. A few weeks ago we had the collective recitation of Qasida Burda Sharif. Next week, inshallah, we will be collectively reciting a very blessed poem written by one of the ulama, respected ulama of Madinatul Munawwara from the 18th century. Imam Ja'far al-Barzanji, rahimahullahu ta'ala, who during the time of the Ottoman Empire, when there was difficulty and upheaval, he wrote this poem in Arabic, which mentions all the names of the companions of Badr and all the names of the martyrs of Uhud, and also other companions and the close family of Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam. We will also be giving out the booklets, inshallah, for you to join in. You can see the English translation of this as well, inshallah. And it is said that if this is recited during any time of distress or difficulty, inshallah, through the blessings of these ashab of Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam, the Sahaba of Badr and the Shuhada of Uhud, inshallah, those difficulties will be eased, inshallah ta'ala. So come in numbers and let your family and friends know as well, inshallah. Brothers only. Next week, same time after Salatul Asr, inshallah. We have just a few minutes, inshallah. Zikr ya salam. Salam par lete hain, inshallah. Salatu salam. مصطفیٰ جان رحمت پہ لاکھوں سلام، شمع بز میں ہدایت پہ لاکھوں سلام، ہم غریبوں کے بے حد درود، ہم فقیروں کی ثروت پہ لاکھوں سلام، مصطفیٰ جان رحمت پہ لاکھوں سلام، شمع بز میں یت پہ لاکھوں سلام، ایک میرا ہی رحمت بے دعویٰ نہیں، شاہ کی ساری امت پہ لاکھوں سلام، مصطفیٰ جان رحمت پہ لاکھوں سلام، شمع بز میں ہدایت پہ لاکھوں سلام، جس سہانی گھڑی چمکا طیبہ کا چاند، اس دل افروز ساعت پہ لاکھوں سلام، مصطفیٰ جان رحمت پہ لاکھوں سلام، شمع بز میں ہدایت پہ لاکھوں سلام، کاش محشر میں جب ان کی آمد ہو اور بھیجے سب ان کی لاکھوں سلام، مجھ سے خدمت کے قدسی کہے ہاں رضا، مصطفیٰ جان رحمت پہ لاکھوں سلام، مصطفیٰ جان رحمت پہ لاکھوں سلام، شمع بز میں ہدایت پہ لاکھوں سلام۔
اللهم ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم إني أسألك علما نافعا ورزقا واسعا وسعيا مشكورا وذنبا مغفورا وعملا مقبولا ودعاء مستجابا وجنة الفردوس نعيما مقيما. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا مولانا محمد طب القلوب ودوائها وعافية الأبدان وشفائها ونور الأبصار وزيائها وعلى آله وصحبه دائما أبدا. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. بحق لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله.